This is Fieldsports Channel News. Veteran anti-hunting campaigner George Monbiot now supports trophy hunting. In a week which saw Westminster MPs throw out John Speller's private member's bill to ban trophy imports, it's bad news for the hardcore antis, as one of their leading lights comes out in favour of hunting tourism. He follows Henry Mance, a writer on the Financial Times, whose recent book, How to Love Animals, concludes that we should all be vegetarian, but trophy hunting is okay because it benefits animals. There is still the second reading of the government's own bill to ban trophy imports. The government's postponed that to the 22nd of March 2022. In the meantime, pro-hunting interests are redoubling their efforts to make the case for hunting tourism.
Unfortunately, British media, British politicians, British celebrities are focusing entirely upon their feelings about hunting and not at all about the practical consequences of hunting.
BASC is warning that firearms licensing delays in the UK is reaching untenable levels. The shooting organisation is considering legal action against police forces that are refusing to grant or renew shotgun and firearm certificates. It says that applicants are now facing more than 6 months of delays, with police forces that have now stopped accepting grant applications, now including North Yorkshire, Thames Valley, Northamptonshire, Cambridgeshire, Bedfordshire, Hertfordshire and Hampshire Police. So what will pheasant shooting cost next season? One game farmer predicts poult prices will rise by up to 10% because of increased energy costs to produce both birds and the feed they eat. The top shoots are already charging more than £50 plus VAT per bird. In an article on the gunsonpegs.com website, game farmer Rob Elton of Perdix Valley says that gas price rises of up to 70% are likely to push the price of pheasant shooting even higher than it is now.
We're anticipating this year that a poult's going to cost around £4.50 a bird. Last year that was £3.90, so that's a 60p increase. Now this is mainly due to the price quotations we're getting for gas this year. They're spiking at around 70 to 75% increases. Feed is estimated to be about £2 a bag more this year. At the end of the day, guns this year we're paying £50 a bird in the air. What would they be next season? Well, I'll leave it up to you to decide, but definitely things will be on the increase.
Another deer has died after being tangled in wire. This red stag got caught up in electric fencing. Skye gamekeeper Scott Mackenzie dispatched it. He says he couldn't get near enough to the animal to cut the tape away from its muzzle, so it had to be dispatched. A new Young Shots programme has secured a day's shooting at Water Priory in Yorkshire in November. Dave Carey's Kids on Pegs programme launched last year, and this film shows a day at the Gui Sani shoot. Water Priory has now generously given Dave a day on the 14th of November 2022, which he's filled with kids on their first day shooting. For more about the programme, email Dave. His address is in the description below. Meanwhile, BASC Young Shots programme is holding a series of shoot days for kids, such as this one at Knowsley Estate in Merseyside. Ireland says it plans to ban wild goat shooting. A spokeswoman for the Department of Agriculture told the Irish Business Post that it was not acceptable that the goats, which currently roam wild, were subject to indiscriminate hunting. The feral Old Irish goat, an indigenous breed, is thought to number around 300 in the wild in Ireland. The Department of Agriculture will have to reclassify it as a wild animal so it can be protected. Antis have won the latest round in Norway's bureaucratic battle over wolf control. Local farmers managed to get a cull quota of 25 wolves, which they could shoot between the 1st of January and the 15th of February. 3 animal rights organisations protested, and a court in Oslo stopped the hunt until it can hear the antis' case. That won't be until the 29th of January, which leaves just 2 weeks left to shoot the wolves and save the lives of sheep and other livestock. Thanks to Per Holmseth for the story. The US state of Utah has banned hunters using trail cameras. After months of surveys, discussions and debates, the Utah Wildlife Board voted 3-4 to ban any device which is not held or manually operated by a person and is used to capture images, video or location data of wildlife and uses heat or motion to trigger the device. The sale or purchase of trail camera footage or data to take, attempt to take, or aid in the take or attempted take of big game animals is also prohibited under the new regulation. Police have taken away the guns of a conservative pastor in New Zealand. Carl Bromley, a founder of the Life Connection Missionary Baptist Fellowship in Christchurch, has lashed out at what he calls the totalitarian state of New Zealand after police raided his house on New Year's Eve, seizing a rifle, gun parts and ammunition. They broke into his house and forcibly removed a gun safe from a wall. Despite no complaints about him in regard to firearms and no criminal history, police took the action after a member of the public had expressed concern that he is a threat. Here he is filming a later encounter with police at his home, where they come for his legally held air guns, which don't need a licence in New Zealand. He is well known for hosting a church service during the COVID-19 Alert Level 4 lockdown. One Australian state is planning to tighten up its firearms laws. The government of Western Australia says that escalating gun violence from outlaw motorcycle gangs means it has to crack down on legal gun ownership. It has introduced a firearms amendment bill with a raft of measures, including requiring a permit to purchase all firearms parts, possibly including rifle scopes, and banning the ownership of books about guns. The government says there will be no consultation. Shooting organisation SIFA is asking the shooting community in Western Australia to complain to their local members of Parliament. And finally, a fox showed un-fox-like behaviour in the home counties last week. Local resident Baz Stevenson filmed the animal sniffing the shoes of passers-by in a churchyard in Thames Ditton in Surrey. It showed no fear of the humans, and even when it found something tasty on a trouser leg, it didn't nip the skin of the person underneath. Thanks to Baz for letting us use the footage. You are now up to date with Fieldsports Channel News. Stalking the stories, fishing for facts.